Kia ora, ko Josh Wharehinga tōku ingoa, he uri a hau no te Tairāwhiti. Kia ora, my name's Josh, child of the East Coast, Gizzy born and bred. Yeah, absolutely love this place. I've always loved Gizzy, right? And I've always loved the community. The community overwhelmingly have gotten in behind my mahi. The community has always been my first and foremost reason for running for council. I also think too that there needs to be some solid consistency in regards to moving forward, and I mean younger generational consistency in regards to the makeup of council. In terms of the current sitting councillors, I am the youngest of us that are running, which is an indictment, I guess, on the current state of local government, because I would really love for there to be much younger people involved in council. But yeah, that's kind of why I'm running in a nutshell. I spent a lot of time thinking about this question, because if I had a magic wand and I could change some things straight away, the first thing that came to my mind was getting our Three Waters infrastructure back. Actually, that was, if I could wave a magic wand and change something, then that would be it. But that's pragmatically speaking, that's already passed. The things that are under our council jurisdiction, and instantly repair all of our roads. The things that I think are probably more in the feasible space, remediating paukahu, really working on our carbon footprint as council. If I could instantly change something straight away, those are the things that I'd change. Making council appealing now so future generations are running in this space now. You know, like I feel like the carbon kōrero is definitely something that will impact future generations. But I think the biggest thing that will help impact future generations are actually, 18, 19, 20-year-olds being on council. So if I could change anything for the future generations, it would be their inclusion in council right now. Yeah, I think council can. We have an issue of having old infrastructure, which we've worked really, really hard on upgrading, and the old infrastructure in regards to how much we know about it, like there are just gaps in terms of our knowledge. So one of the things that we can do is actually improve our knowledge around what our infrastructure capacity loads are. The next thing that we really need to do is get behind infill housing development, and I'm talking about at the scale that other cities are. The Aucklands, Hamiltons, Wellingtons and Christchurches are getting into more infill housing, and I think actually that's something that council can get behind instantly. In terms of the biggest impact though, I think the TRMP, would be the huge piece of work that would impact what housing looks like in Te Tairāwhiti. And actually, when how you asked me the question about what could you do now, instantly have the TRMP develop was also one of the things that I thought about as well. There are a lot of things that impact the decisions that we make in the mobility of our community that I just wish I could wave a magic wand and have those things done on behalf of us. Principally speaking, yes. Yeah, I absolutely think that council should do more to support the arts. I'm very big in supporting the arts myself. In terms of infrastructurally speaking, I don't know if I would trust council as an infrastructure regulatory organisation to be in charge of devolving out things and programs for the arts. But in terms of supporting them, like with space, supporting them with visibility, those kinds of ways of supporting, I think there's a lot of ways that aren't council running those things, which we're in regards to how we could support those things. I guess the same way that I've currently engaged the community, which is trying to be at everywhere all at once, and also everywhere digitally as well all at once. But yeah, I'm happy to be led by the community about how they want to engage me. I usually turn up to everything that I'm invited to, unless I have another thing that I've been invited to that precludes me from attending that other thing, or there's council business on. But I think I'm pretty engaged with my community. So probably the same way that I'm doing it right now. Very interesting question. Because this is a space that I already feel like I engage well in terms of our bicultural identity of Te Tairāwhiti. I feel like actually I embody some of that in some way, shape and form. You know, having grown up urban Māori here, having grandparent and great-grandparent ancestry that's English and also Irish, which I just found out recently. Having not grown up in amongst marae, so kind of in urban, so I feel very much urban, but then having tried to grasp that in my adulthood kind of makes me feel like I'm this bicultural embodiment of Te Tairāwhiti. I don't, you know, other people may disagree with that, but that's just how I feel. So in terms of the multicultural space that Te Tairāwhiti is in, I also feel like I engage in that well as myself being part of the Gisborne District Sister Cities Committee, trying to build our relationships between Te Tairāwhiti and our international relationships, trying to learn everybody else's languages so that, like when I ordered my coffee this morning, it was great to be able to speak Punjabi to the guy, you know, just because it's you know, like I like to try to find ways to engage. So that's me on a personal level. In regards to a region in a town, just tolerance. I think the biggest thing that council will be running is our anti-racism campaign, which will help fundamentally unpick a lot of the things which creates bias, which will help knit and build ourselves as a biculturally principled but multicultural society. Yeah, first off, I kind of have to give my personal position about accepting the money for the Three Waters assets. It's always something that I have felt adverse about, you know. It's one of those things where they're kind of saying, it feels like it's one of those things where they're kind of going, this is no strings attached, but you definitely know that there are strings attached, right, in regards to this. So it's always felt a little bit, a little bit not right to me, you know. So, but pragmatically speaking, on behalf of the region, we have to have a focus as elected councillors. We have to have a focus on planning for this money. Myself, it would be in regards to reducing our waste output for the region. You know, like we actually waste a lot that should be going to, that's green waste, is going to, you know, regular kind of landfill. And that contributes to our overall carbon footprint as a region. It's also sensible, right? You know, if we think about Tairāwhiti as a really green region, we've got these beautiful beaches and things like that, it makes sense just in regards to who we are as a people to want to have that all separated out from our own waste and to have that be looked after in an environmentally friendly way. So the full bin system is definitely something that I would utilise that money for. Also remediating places like Paukahu and all of those other little landfills we have all up and down our coast. Remediation to me would look like working with the community, mana whenua and landowners for what we can mutually agree would be our best outcome for those spaces. And that might change depending on the different community, the different hapu, the different locations. But I feel that's the place to start when we even think about remediating those areas. Thanks for the opportunity to share my kōrero. I always enjoy the stuff that rangai do down here. Absolutely awesome. This is great kaupapa. So, ngā mihi.